Hey man, this your boy, Master Teacher, DeMarco. You new to the page, subscribe, hit that bell for notification so you can become part of the notification gang on the game. You feel me? Also, drop a comment down there in the comment section, aka the knowledge box. Any constructive criticism, input is welcome. No cap. All constructive criticism is welcome. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. You already know what your boy about to say now. If you been watching. You know what I'm saying? It's insurmountable. It's catastrophic. You feel me? That you smash that like button for your boy. You feel me? Please smash that like button for your boy to help us get through the YouTube algorithm. Cause you know how they is. You know what I'm saying? Once you spend illumination and information trying to wake up the people, they put your video, you know what I'm saying, on the back burner. So smash that like button for your boy. Now I want to jump on what I had seen the other day over there in New Zealand. We all know Bill Gates. We all know Bill Gates just left from New Zealand. And when he left, they announced quarantine camps to people who refuse to be tested. No lie. And I'm gonna put the video up of this shit. See, they gonna get on there and tell you that the quarantine, you know what I'm saying, camps is 4- and 5-star hotels. Don't let these folks fool you. Don't let these people show you videos. Oh yeah, it's not a concentration camp. It's 4- or 5-star hotel. Don't let those fake videos fool you. Cause they really got people in famous concentration camps. But jail, they in concentration camps. Like Obama did them folks a while back. They fuck around and get you there, clone you, send your clone back out since you didn't want to get tested. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? What the fuck is it? 1930 Nazi Germany? That's what it basically is. This is damn near basically 1930s Nazi Germany. Quarantine camps sound a lot like FEMA camps. They are talking about the roundup. Rounding people up. Understand, Bill Gates went over there and stated New Zealand accepted the COVID-19 vaccine by all means. You better refuse that shit. You better refuse that shit over there in New Zealand and around the world globally. Fight for your motherfucking rights. Fight for your motherfucking rights, man. It coming to a city near you. This shit is coming to a city near me. A city near you. You feel me? We're gonna all have to fight this shit. Ready or not, we're gonna have to all fight this shit. You know what I'm saying? They are plotting. They plotting. People need to wake the fuck up. The beast don't care about you. He don't care about your vote when it wants your soul. Fight for your motherfucking rights. Because it's going to be too late when they take them. We all got to stick in this shit together. We got to all be in this shit together. We got to be in this shit together. Because if they divide us, we lost. They divide us, we lost. We lost. I'm not taking no vaccine, period. Period. Let me go show y'all this video of what I'm talking about.
False, yet disinformation campaigns and conspiracy theories have become a fact of our lives these days, particularly in politics. Most get ignored, even laughed off, but there is one theory suggesting Canadians will be forced into COVID-19 internment camps that has now caught the attention of the Prime Minister. Evan Dyer brings us the story this morning.
Well, COVID has, of course, supercharged conspiracy theories. There's the theory that the whole pandemic is a hoax. There's also the theory, of course, that it's real but caused by governments, the so-called plandemic. But we are now seeing one making the rounds after being promoted by an elected official in the Ontario Parliament. That is Randy Hillier, who was expelled from the PC government by Premier Doug Ford last year, and who gave a speech in the legislature 2 weeks ago based on a tender put up by the Ontario government looking for a contractor to provide housing for people who've been required to quarantine for 14 days but have no place to stay. Randy Hillier interpreted those as quarantine camps or internment camps.
Surely this government is aware of the intentions to build these isolation camps from coast to coast. And my question to the Premier is, how many of these camps will be built? And how many people does this government expect to detain?
Now, in the 2 weeks since that question was asked in the Ontario Parliament at Queen's Park, we've seen it circulate on a number of fringe and not so fringe news websites in Canada and the United States, and also appear in YouTube videos. And other Canadian politicians are now starting to hear about it from their constituents. One we spoke to was Charlie Angus of the New Democratic Party, who's been very active in campaigns against social media disinformation even before the pandemic. Is a member of an international parliamentarians group aimed at reining in disinformation on social media platforms.
I just think it's really a disgrace that people use their position, a public position, to spread falsehoods. It's damaging people's confidence, and I have people who are really, really afraid. And I every night on Facebook, I'm dealing with people from across the country who are sending me messages, and I'm saying to them, listen, nobody is coming to break into your house to force you to take a mumps vaccine. Honest, it's not going to happen. This is Canada.
And we also learned that this particular conspiracy theory has even reached the ears of the Prime Minister of Canada.
I was chatting with a group of students the other day, and a young woman asked me about COVID internment camps, and I had to explain that as we consume increasing amounts and various sources of information online and around us, we need to continue to be attentive to source. We need to continue to be attentive to comparing various reports and looking for trusted sources.
Experts on disinformation are really more frustrated than surprised to see this particular theory making.
As terrifying quarantine camps. And as Anna Bracewell-Worrell reports, she's not the only one taking aim in our COVID response.
Extraordinary claims broadcast on Fox News.
Kiwis have a terrifying new response to rising COVID case numbers. They're throwing people into quarantine camps.
US presenter Laura Ingram referring to a Facebook Live video from June where Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern explains the rules around COVID tests and managed isolation.
You either get your tests done and make sure you're cleared, or we will keep you in a facility longer.
Ingram mocking both the concept and the accent.
No leaving the camp until you're negative.
A quarantine camp, not quite how those in managed isolation would describe it. Most are holed up in 4- and 5-star hotels. That's huge. A requirement for those returning from overseas. And during the recent Auckland outbreak, also used for community cases and their close contacts.
Definitely not a camp as such. It's a It's a nice 4-star hotel, and I've enjoyed it. It's worth it, you know, to keep New Zealand safe and keep it out.
New Yorkers News Hub spoke to this week had a slightly different take than Ingram on New Zealand's response.
Congratulations on having the most awesome government on the planet with like 0 COVID cases.
The current administration hasn't taken an approach like your country has to keeping everyone safe.
But Ingram isn't the only one taking aim at New Zealand's response. Right-wing politician Suzanne Evans described our government as fascist and even compared it to 1930s Nazi Germany. Negative attention from overseas prompting sarcastic tweets, reigniting an old hashtag, NZ Hellhole, to push back against suggestions lockdown was a living hell. And
explain to you why this is freaky from a Jewish person's perspective. My Jewish people were taken out of their houses on false premises. They were robbed. They were put onto trains that took them to concentration camps. They were used as slave labor. They were not fed. They were poisoned with Zyklon B, and they were thrown into ovens. And that was known as the Holocaust. 2/3 is a statistic. 2/3 of the kids growing up nowadays have never heard of the Holocaust and have no idea what Auschwitz is. Auschwitz was one of thousands of concentration camps in Germany that we're doing, as I just explained. And if this doesn't instill some type of seriousness in you or some concern, I don't know what will. If your rights are being taken away, my rights are being taken away.
Swear.
If my rights are being taken away, your rights are going to be taken away.
Swear.
We are all one in this. There's no difference in black, white, Asian. It doesn't matter at this point. We are human beings. We have certain rights and liberties, and right in front of our eyes, these things are being taken away from us. I've decided to make an entire series of just education.
In our facilities to be tested, they have to keep staying, so they won't be able to leave after 14 days. They have to stay on for another 14 days. So it's a pretty good incentive. You either get your tests done and make sure you're cleared, or we will keep you in a facility longer. So I think most people will look at that and say, I'll take the test.
As part of our overall national response to this new outbreak, I am now directing medical officers of health that all cases, confirmed cases, are to be managed in a quarantine facility. Now, this is different to how positive cases were managed when we were last at levels 4 and indeed 3, and shows how serious we are about limiting any risk of ongoing transmission, even in self-isolation and including to others in the household. This will apply to any cases and also close family members who might be at risk as appropriate. A reminder, these facilities have been set up specifically and have excellent processes and resources in place to look after people with COVID-19.
We won't see you again.
Staff on site at all times, and it will help us avoid any further inadvertent spread into the community as part of our overall response.
I've got a number of questions about people refuse, what do we do if someone refuses to be tested? Well, they can't now. If someone refuses in our facilities to be tested, they have to keep staying. So they won't be able to leave after 14 days. They have to stay on for another 14 days. So it's a pretty good incentive. You either get your tests done and make sure you're cleared, or we will keep you in a facility longer. So I think most people will look at that and say, I'll take
I'm basically going to convert it into a podcast series where we talk about anything from what people might consider propaganda to conspiracies, but just along those lines, right? So when I was 15 years old is when I really